Hello, and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is John Viglotti. On behalf of OTC Markets, we're very pleased you joined us for our 3-day Battery and Precious Metals Conference. We'll start today with a live presentation from Northern Graphite. And before I introduce our speaker, a few points to note. Please submit your questions in the question box to the left of the slides. And if you're interested in a meeting with Northern Graphite, please click on the Schedule Meetings tab found in the platform navigation bar. You'll be able to view the company's availability and submit a meeting request. On a final note, all of today's presentations will be recorded and available for 24/7 replay. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome our first presenter. He is Hugh Jackman. He's the director of Northern Graphite Corp, which trades on the OTCQB venture market under the symbol NGPHF and on the TSXV under the symbol NGC. Welcome, Hugh.
Thank you, John, for welcoming us today. My name is Hugh. I'm the CEO of Northern Graphite, and I'm here to present our company to you. But before I start, I just want to go through a couple of cautionary statement slides, one for mineral resources and the other one regarding to forward-looking statements. This presentation does contain some of those, so if you have any questions, please let me know, but I'm sure you're familiar with them. Northern Graphite is a great company. It was recently transformed through the acquisition of two major assets, one in Canada, Quebec, and the other one in Namibia. The company was founded in 2002, and the main project that we were developing, Bisset Creek, was the first real graphite mine that was developed in Canada following the development of graphite for battery. But let me tell you a little bit more about our company. First of all, we are the North America's only graphite producer with a very well-defined growth strategy. We have an operating mine in Lac des Îles, Quebec. We have a second mine on stream in 2024 in Namibia, and we have two large development projects, one in Namibia and one in Ontario, in addition to those mines. We have a very well-defined integrated downstream supplier strategy, which is there to address the booming battery anode materials market. This strategy was founded on the acquisition of NeoGraph in 2023 as a leading provider of specialty value-added products, which are manufactured from our natural graphite. And the second is the development of the world's largest BAM facility in Baie-Comeau, Quebec, with a projected 200,000 tons per year of capacity. Finally, the company has a very low relative valuation to peer graphite companies, and therefore, with its low market capitalization compared to peer and much higher near-term, medium-term production of 50,000 tons in 2024 and 300,000 tons in 2029, it offers a great opportunity. Let me talk a little bit more about our company. So who is Northern Graphite? North America's only graphite producer with a producing mine in Quebec and two large development projects. We're very focused on becoming the world-leading natural graphite mining and processing company. And we see a huge global opportunity to provide high-value products to the green energy revolution, mainly driven by lithium-ion batteries, which are then used in EVs or for energy storage and fuel cells. Our first asset in Lac des Îles is a fully permitted mine and tailing facility. It has been in production for 20 odd years, and it has a very established customer base and marketing network. It produces very high-quality flake graphite, and it's located in a politically stable jurisdiction, which is about 150 kilometers north of Montreal, in an area with numerous satellite deposits. The project highlight, of course, it's a producing asset, as we said. It has proven value. And in addition to Lac des Îles, we also recently acquired additional resources in Musa West, which is about 80 kilometers away from the Lac des Îles mine. And our intent is to update these resource estimate and complete a PEA shortly to be able to define exactly what that will mean for the company. Okanjande, which is in Namibia, is an operation which consists of the Okanjande graphite deposit and the Okarusa processing plant. As I said, it's located in Namibia, which is one of Africa's best mining jurisdictions. The mining operation there began in 2017 by Immers, who we purchased the asset from, and that mine was then put in care and maintenance in 2018. We intend to restart the operations which were on hold due to COVID-related delays sometime in 2024. The project has very high-quality infrastructure. It's only 20 kilometers south of the town of Otjiwarongo. It has access to grid power. It has a good road and rail network. And it's about 288 kilometers from Morvis Bay, which is a deep water port, which will provide convenient access to European and North American market. The asset has proven value with 1.6 million tons of graphite. It has a very low waste-to-ore ratio, which makes it a relatively low cost to operate. And once in operation, it can generate between $20 to $30 million of EBITDA and has an NPV of 81 million. Moving forward, we are evaluating of moving the Okarusa plant down to the mine site so that we can resume operation in 2024. And the site is large enough for us to be able to host a site that will produce between 100 and 150,000 tons per year in order to meet the surging EV and battery demand. Bisset Creek, which is the historical asset of Northern Graphite, is based in Ontario, between Ottawa and North Bay. It's a 100% owned advanced stage project. It has high quality graphite, 90% of which is categorized as large and extra large flakes, which makes it very highly valuable in the graphite market. We have completed most of the major mining permits and the feasibility study, and the project is basically construction ready, subject to us being able to raise the financing. Independent studies that have been completed by Pro Graphite in Germany indicate that the concentrate is well suited for the battery market. Moving forward, we have a two-phase plan to be able to develop the project. This two-phase plan will first allow for the production of up to 40,000 tons per year, and we can then further expand that to 80 or 100,000 tons per year as the market grows. So if you look at our assets, since we bought the two mines from Immers last year, we can basically take our production from existing 15,000 tons in 2022 to 50,000 tons of production in 2025, and all the way up to 300,000 tons of production by 2029. In other words, we have substantial current production. We have the resources to expand significantly as the EV market grows. All our deposits have very high quality flake graphite, are close to infrastructure, in politically stable jurisdiction. We have value-added processing opportunities, and the battery electric vehicle market is growing exponentially, which makes it a very attractive investment with the current valuation and the share structure that we have. Recently, we announced that we wanted to build a battery anode material facility. In other words, when you produce graphite, in order to be able to use it in a battery, we have to be able to transform the graphite concentrate into a battery material. The price of the graphite today in the market is between 500 to 2,500 Canadian dollars per metric ton. If we produce battery anode material, we can sell that material for about $10,000 per 10,000 Canadian dollars per metric ton, which makes it a very interesting opportunity for us. In order to be able to produce this material, we've decided to partner with people who have technology in order to be able to produce the battery anode material. These partners, such as GraphX, are companies that are currently producing material for the battery business. And therefore, we feel that with this large project, we will be able to provide low cost and large scale. And the site in Baie-Comeau is located in an area that has readily available hydroelectric power, very good logistics because it has a deep water port and access to a different rail line. And being located in the Plan Nord, it has the ability to access incentives and other assistance from different types of support that we can have. The NeoGraph transaction, which we basically undertook in February of this year, NeoGraph was a customer of ours for more than 30 years. And what they do is they basically take the concentrate and they functionalize it to provide for specific applications such as the electronics industry, the construction industry, as well as supplying plates for such as supplying plates for the fuel cell industry. They are also able to functionalize the graphite in graphene-like and graphene-type materials so that they can support applications in the building industry as well as for fire retardancy. The benefits to us that it provides downstream integration with value-added processing. From our side, we provide security of supply so that NeoGraph can continue to support the customer base that they have, and it gives us access to a high growth, high margin downstream market. Somehow. So let's talk a little bit more about graphite. What is graphite? Graphite and are the only natural pure forms of carbon. It's a two-dimensional. Sorry, my slide went back. It's a two-dimensional flake material. It's non-toxic, doesn't cause cancer. It's not a source of CO2. It is used in a wide variety of applications, going from refractories to the construction industry, the electronics industry. It is very lightweight and corrosion and heat resistant, and is an excellent conductor of heat and electricity. But why graphite? Well, on top of all the current applications that we talked about, today graphite is the large portion of a lithium-ion battery. In fact, most lithium-ion batteries today have about 48% of graphite, because the anode, the negative side of a lithium battery, is 100% made of graphite. If you look at the growth of the battery industry, you can see that over the next few years, it is projected to grow at a very, very exponential rate. If today the demand for graphite anode and natural graphite in graphite anode is less than 500,000 tons per year, it is projected by 2029 to reach as much as 2 million tons per year. And this is due to the construction of a lot of battery factories that have been announced across the world, including North America. So why do we believe that this is the best graphite opportunity investment today? Well, first of all, because of our customers. We are the only North American graphite producer, and we have acquired customers and market share from Imerys in the transaction. We also have acquired customer and sales from Graph through VIP and the transaction that recently closed. And the partnerships with GraphX to provide the anode manufacturing has also given us access to the lithium-ion battery technology. From a partnership point of view, we expect to have federal and provincial support with governments with the support of graphite being a strategic critical mineral. Innovation and development in Manicouagan and Graphex in Baie-Comeau to build a 200,000-ton battery anode plant. We have negotiations underway with U.S. government agencies for OEM and battery, and with OEM and battery manufacturers. Third, we have the only mine to battery strategy out there. First of all, we have the mining assets between Lac des Îles, Bisset Creek, and Namibia, with about 300,000 tons of graphite production potential. Baie-Comeau, which is the site where we want to build our anode manufacturing facility, has about 200,000 tons of annual capacity. And downstream, through the acquisition of Neograph, we provide downstream growth opportunities in fuels, graphene, and high-growth technologies. So if you look at our current valuation compared to our peers in the market, you can see that the blue bar represents our full capacity availability, or our planned production capacity, and the gray bar basically shows our next near-term production capacity. As you can see, out of all our peers in the market, we have the largest near-term production capacity at 50,000 tons and the largest planned production capacity at 300,000 tons. In terms of our capital structure, we have about 121 million shares outstanding. On a fully diluted basis, that's 166 million shares. At a share price of January 27th, that gave us a market cap of $76 million. And we have about 30 million of warrants to be exercised. These warrants have a strike price of between 75 cents and $1.10. And the exercise date will be between 10th of February 2024 and 29th of April 2024. The warrants that were exercised the warrants that have been exercised in 2023 at 45 cents for a total amount of 4.6 million warrants were exercised. In terms of our team, we have a very experienced team. Myself, as a chief executive of the company in June of last year, but have been involved for about 2 years since we executed the transaction with Immers. I've been in the graphite space since 2014, and I've spent the last 30 years of my career developing and managing businesses in the specialty material space. Guillaume Jacques, our Chief Financial Officer, he has 20 years of experience in international finance roles and positions. He has been more than 10 years in various businesses, and he himself has also been in the graphite business since 2015. Previously, he was the finance director of Immers and Graphite and Carbon, working with me. Most recently, he was the global head of for the construction and consumer business unit of Bostik. Sam January is our vice president of human resources. He's Namibian and has been with the company since end of last year. Kirsty Lidecote just joined us as our chief operating officer. She's a mine geologist with more than 18 years of global experience. And most recently, she was a general manager of a Red Lake operation in Evolution Mining in northeastern Ontario. It's a lot of experience in developing and managing mines and mining projects. Dave Marsh, our Chief Technology Officer, has been in the company last year. He has over 40 years in process engineering and process management and operation roles. Previously, he was a Chief Operation Officer of Avalon and has developed multiple projects, including an expansion in Namibia. We also have a very experienced board. Gregory Bose is our former CEO. He's our chairman. Cam Burge, founder of the company, and he's been developing the company since 2002. And Frank O'Brien Bonini and Don are both very experienced in their field. Frank O'Brien Bonini was prior to joining us was the Chief Sustainability Officer of Owens Corning, and Don Christie is being the CEO of many companies that have been listed in the Toronto Stock Exchange. So just to summarize, why is Northern a very interesting investment? First of all, it's the only domestic graphite producer. We have substantial current production with significant growth upside from plant production. We have the industry is highly dependent on China for graphite supply. This really represents an opportunity for us. We have very strong market fundamentals with the explosive demand for the electric vehicle sales market. Graphite prices and valuation are still low today, and we're well positioned to become an industry leader with a recent acquisition we did and the attractive valuation and share structure we have based on all the projects that have high quality flake graphite located close to infrastructure and in safe and stable jurisdiction. Thank you for listening to my presentation. So I will look at the first question is, are you able to assess and government's Canadian-US grants funding to support your North American operations? The answer to that is yes, we are in discussion with both the Canadian and the US government in order to get additional grants and funding to support our projects. At this stage, we can't say more than that, but there is money available, and we're very well positioned to be able to access those funds based on the applications that we are intending to submit. You mentioned being undervalued versus your peers. Why do you think that is, and what will lead to a reevaluation of our company? This is a good question. I believe that one of the reasons that we're being undervalued versus our peers is the fact that until the acquisition of the Amherst mine in April of last year, Northern Graphite was known for its Bisset Creek deposit, which is a very nice project, but still had to be developed. We have done quite a lot in the last few months to promote our company and to tell our story. But if you look at the transformation of the company over the last 7 or 8 months, it's been tremendous. Going from that one development project going all the way to the acquisition of Neograph and the development of for battery anode material, as well as starting the work in order to be able to put Okanjande in Namibia back into production. So we are continuing to tell our story like we are today, and we expect that will lead for us to be able to increase the valuation of our company. What is the capital cost for the BAM plant, and what is your share of it? So the capital cost of the BAM plant is still being evaluated at this stage. We don't intend to do that by ourselves. As I said, we want to partner with companies that are already in the business today, and so we are working with them to be able to define that. But we believe that because of the scale of the facility itself, it will be very competitive. In terms of what share of the project do we believe that we will have, we intend to have at least 50% of the share of that facility as we move forward. But of course, that will be defined over time. What are your key milestones for 2023 and your capital position to support 2023 initiatives? So our key milestones for 2023 are to continue to the Lac-des-Îles mine as we continue to produce and sell product into the market. We sell about $2 million worth of product on a monthly basis. Our next milestone would be to restart our mine in Namibia. In order to do that, we are finalizing our PEA. And we believe that we will be able in the next few months to be able to define that. Of course, we will also continue to work on our Bisset Creek project and look for financing in order to be able to get into construction for that project in 2024. And we continue to work on our Baie-Comeau facility so that we can start crystallizing exactly what the investment required will be for that project. Our capital position today is sufficient to continue the operation of our company in order to be able to develop the mine in Bisset Creek, develop the plant in Baie-Comeau, as well as move the plant in Namibia. We will require additional funding, which we are in the process of defining. Next question was, are you working with Volkswagen or anyone else? So we are talking to a lot of different OEM manufacturers in order to be able to supply them with graphite for their battery needs. Volkswagen, of course, is on our radar because they just announced this battery plant in Ontario. The IRA that has recently been announced by the US has also accelerated these type of discussions, because being the only producer of natural graphite in North America today, we are in an excellent position to be able to develop our capability to supply the North American market and to allow the OEMs and the battery manufacturers to meet the IRA requirement as they are being defined today. However, it's still early days for us to be able to talk about anything more definite than the fact that we're having discussion with these companies, and we are producing samples with our partners, and we are testing material to make sure that we can meet the technical requirements of being able to make battery anode material graphite to supply the industry. Hopefully we will be able to talk about these developments shortly, and that should really help us gain a stronger position in the market. This concludes the questions that I have. If you have further questions, please feel free to add them to the list, and we will try to answer them in the future. And in the meanwhile, we will be able to provide you with one-on-one meetings if you choose to do so. Thank you for listening. Sorry about the little delay here. I was technically a little bit delayed, but I apologize for that.